Sometimes there's more to a car than meets the eye. Take this VW for example. To look at, it could be just about any Golf model, the kind of car you see on every street in every town. But if you look more closely on the far side, you'll see the charging port, and that tells you it's the plug-in hybrid. Now recently Volkswagen has updated the Golf range, and arguably it's the eHybrid plug-in which has had the most thorough update, with a much longer all-electric range than before. It's also quick to accelerate and heavier than most of the other Golf models in the range, so on paper it looks like it has the makings of a fine tow car. Well, we're about to find out. We'll also consider how well the car drives in day-to-day situations. We'll have a thorough look inside the cabin, and we'll consider the value for money and running costs before we deliver our verdict.
For our towing test, we've matched the Golf eHybrid to an Eldis Avante 462 with a mass in running order of 1,108 kilograms, borrowed from Raymond James Caravans in Atherstone.
The eHybrid is one of the most powerful models in the Golf range, with 204 horsepower. That's the combined output of the petrol engine and the electric motor working together. Now that's enough to comfortably pull the Eldis up to speed, with the electric motor actually doing a lot of the work, especially at low speeds. And with so much power, it's easy to overtake dawdling traffic and simple to maintain speed on hilly roads. This isn't just a quick car though, it's also a very stable one, and that's in no small part due to its high curb weight of 1,649 kilograms. Now to put that in some kind of context, most other Golf models are more like 1,300, 1,400 kilos. All told, the Golf feels like it could handle a much heavier Caravan, and that's reflected in the car's 1,700 kilograms towing capacity.
Leave the Caravan behind and you can really make the most of the car's electric range while towing.
Now most plug-in hybrids have an electric range of around 30 miles or perhaps a little bit more. The Golf eHybrid has an official electric range of 88 miles. Now, even if that's a bit optimistic, in the real world you should still be able to achieve, say, 60 or 70 miles on a full charge. It really is a very pleasant way to travel with very little noise, and you always have the backup of the petrol motor if you need to make a longer journey. There's another version of the Golf hybrid, the GTE, which has even more power and is really aimed at someone looking for a fuel-sipping hot hatch. Instead of fulfilling that kind of sporty role, this car, the regular eHybrid, is more of a relaxed cruiser of a car. It's very comfortable, it's great on long journeys, but it's not especially exciting or engaging on a country road. But then that's not really its remit. It's a satisfying car to drive rather than an exciting one.
Let's take a look inside.
Volkswagen has taken a lot of stick for its infotainment systems and its awkward to use touch sensitive pads. Now some of those criticisms have been addressed in the latest Golf. So the infotainment system is easier to use, it looks great, it's much more user friendly, and these touch sensitive pads are backlit at night, which they didn't used to be. But to be honest, I'd still rather have proper physical controls. It would be a lot easier to use on the move without distraction. In terms of the driving position, well, there's plenty of adjustment for the steering wheel and for the seat. It's manual adjustment on this model, but it's easy enough to find a nice comfortable driving position. In terms of storage, there's a decent amount of space in the door bins. You've got further storage here under the driver's armrest. You've got a couple of cup holders in between the driver and front seat passenger, and there's a wireless charging tray for compatible smartphones. All in all, you can travel long distances in the front of this car perfectly comfortably. But can you say the same for the back? So, for a hatchback of this size, I think rear seat space is pretty good. You've got to remember that I'm 6'3", the driver's seat here is set up for me, so if you had a driver of a more average size, then you'd have plenty of room. If you're travelling with children rather than passengers, then you'll want to use the ISOFIX mounting points. There are fittings for a child seat on either side in the back of the car. Other features to note: you have air vents between the front seats to keep everybody at a comfortable temperature, and there are a couple of USB-C ports here for keeping phones and devices fully charged. What I would say though, if you're travelling with 3 people in the back, it is going to get a bit narrow. There's not going to be an awful lot of shoulder room, and you do have this rather big hump in the floor, so it will be a lot more comfortable with 4 people in the car rather than 5, but you can say the same of most cars of this size. Let's take a look in the boot. So let's take a look. Well, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it? All of those gubbins for the hybrid system have to go somewhere, and in this car what's happened is they've robbed you of a little bit of boot space. There's only a 273 litre capacity, although on the plus side there's only a slight load lip to lift items over, so it's not going to be a particular strain on your back. Now, in terms of the tow ball and the electrics, they drop down at the push of a button inside the boot. The electrics are here on the side where it's nice and easy for you to slot the plug home. The maximum download on the tow bar is 80 kilograms.
Before optional equipment, our test car costs £37,165. That's an awful lot more than a 1.5 petrol, even allowing for the eHybrid's performance and economy. In official tests, the Golf achieves 993.3 mpg. While towing the eldest on our economy route, it returned 50.1 mpg while starting out with a healthy state of charge. Completing the route again, but with the battery depleted, we saw 26.5 miles to the gallon.
In most respects, the Golf eHybrid is a very impressive car, but it has its frustrations too. The boot will struggle with a family's holiday luggage, and the price tag is hefty. However, the all-electric range is excellent and the car tows with ease.
When you've watched the video, please do subscribe to the Camping and Caravanning Club's channel if you haven't already. Click on the notification button and you'll never miss any of the club's tow car, caravan, camping and motorhome content. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to click on the thumbs up button to like it and let us know what you think in the comments.